So to do this, first let me write down the circle equation we want to get in the end. We want something in the form of x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Now, first thing I want you to notice how we have 3x squared and 3y squared, but in our circle equation, we only have 1x and we have 1y, and when you square, it'll be 1x squared and 1y squared. So we need to get rid of those 3's on the x squared and the y squared. To do that, you just divide by 3 everywhere. So divide every single number by 3, or every single term by 3. So this is actually the equation that we're going to need to put into the standard form. So let me erase all that top stuff because we don't need it anymore. So now I need to turn this equation, x squared plus 5x plus y squared minus 2y plus 2 is equal to 1, into standard form. To do that, first I'm going to do subtract 2 from both sides, because remember, there's no numbers, no constants on the left side of standard form. You put all the numbers on the right side to get r squared. So if I subtract 2 from both sides, I'll have this is equal to 1 minus 2 is just minus 1. Okay, next thing I need to do is complete the square with x and y, so I can get it into the factored form. So first, I have x squared plus 5x. I need to add a special number that allows me to factor it into x plus h, or minus h, depending on what number it is, squared. So remember, to find that number, you take this number, the x term, or the x coefficient, and then you first divide it by 2, and then you square that number. And then if I do 5 over 2 squared, that's 5 squared over 2 squared, and that's just equal to 25 over 4. So this means the magic number to add to this expression is 25 over 4, and this will allow me to factor it nicely. But remember, if I add 25 over 4 to the left side of this equation, I need to add it over here as well, so I'm consistent. So let me do that. So I'll have minus 1 plus 25 over 4. Okay, let's go back here and factor this. To factor this just becomes x plus, take this number divided by 2 as a quick trick, 5 over 2 squared. Now let's go to the y terms. I have y squared minus 2y, and I need to add a special number to turn this into y minus k squared. So to do that, you take the number, the coefficient on the y, that's minus 2, you then divide it by 2 to get minus 1, and then you have to square that number. So minus 1 squared is just plus 1. So all we need to do is just add 1 here so we can factor it. If I add 1 here, I have to add 1 to the other side of the equation as well, so I'm going to write plus 1. And then to factor y squared minus 2y plus 1, that simply factors as y minus 1 squared. And using the quick trick, you just take the middle term and divide it by 2, or the coefficient on the middle term. And minus 2 divided by 2 is just minus 1. That's what goes in here. And then I'm just going to erase this up here. I'm going to replace it with y minus 1 squared. Now let's simplify the numbers here. We have minus 1 plus 25 over 4 plus 1. So notice that this minus 1 and this plus 1 will cancel, and we're just left with 25 over 4. Alright, so now we're ready to get the radius and the center of this circle. So for the center, you just take the numbers inside the parentheses and you flip them. So plus 5 over 2 becomes minus 5 over 2. Minus 1 becomes plus 1. So our center is minus 5 halves, comma 1. And for the radius, all you need to do is take your r squared, that's 25 over 4, and take the square root of it. So the radius is just the square root of 25 over 4, and that is equal to the square root of 25 over the square root of 4. And the square root of 25 is just 5, and the square root of 4 is just 4. So our radius is just 5 over 2. So that's it. The center of the circle is minus 5 over 2, comma 1, and the radius is just 5 over 2.